Hello and welcome back to another episode of Daily Draft Logs. This is episode 3. We're looking at a Kaldheim Traditional Draft. This deck went 2-1. Let's see what we did here. This was pretty early in the format, so we'll see if there's any things we would change nowadays. Arena not saving pick ones, so we don't get to see what was in contention here. But Demon Bolt, typically a reasonable one to first pick, so that's what we did here. Pick 2. We get past Awaking the Trolls, same as episode 1 here. Bomb Rare, I think there's a lot of good reasons to take this card. It's very powerful. If you're ramping into this, if you're playing this a turn early off of Glittering Frost or a Sculptor of Winter or something like that, destroying their 4th land, if you're on the play and you play this on turn 5, destroy their land 4 can be pretty backbreaking. You're usually making 2 to 3 4/4s off of this thing at chapter 3, so I would really recommend picking this card early and trying to play it. So not really anything else in consideration in this pack. And we take Waking the Trolls right on. Okay, and next pack here. So we would like to be red-green. There is no red in this pack. There is some green. So I like Path to the World Tree quite a bit. Activating this for 2 and Wooburg, as it were, is pretty real, and just, there's not a ton of aggro going on. There are good aggro decks, but not a ton, so taking turn 2 off to make sure you hit your land drops and get your fixing is totally reasonable. So I'd be on Path here, especially because we have a great 6-drop that we want to get to. Yeah, and there's just really nothing else going on in this pack. All these commons are pretty flat in power level. Bergstrider's like a little bit better than it looks, but that might be like the next most exciting common here. Shepherd is pretty sweet as well, but, on color, plus it fixes us. I'm on Path. Okay, we took Fall of the Imposter. I'm not interested in this card. It is good if you're in green-white, but I'm not a huge fan of green-white as an archetype, and I don't think it's correct to hamstring yourself having 2 gold uncommons of different color pairs, even though they do both have green in them. I think you just take Path this early and stay open, and try to play a green-red, maybe blue multicolor kind of deck. Maybe you get some snow stuff, maybe you don't. Doesn't really matter because you've got Waking the Trolls. But this is like, there's a very strong chance that we don't play this card. And this card kind of wants you, Fall of the Imposter that is, wants you to play it on turn 3 and be curving out and be a dedicated green-white deck. This is not a great splash. So, I'm not a big fan of this pick. This is my own draft log that I made. So I would take Path here. But, this early in the format, we didn't really know that the multicolor green snow decks were as good as they are. So now we do. So take Path. It's really good. All right, pick 4. So we've got a Runeforge Champion we could pick up here. This card is okay. The runes are okay. So I could see taking it given that we just took a green-white Saga and try to go in that direction. But we still have a Demon Bolt and a really good red-green rare. So I think at this point our red is still better than our white. So I'd probably be looking at a red card here. Of the red cards that are here, I like Axgard Cavalry probably the most. But there's also Behold the Multiverse, which is maybe the correct pick. Yeah, because, we want to be... if we had taken Path, this would be an easy Behold, because now we can just start becoming a multicolor mid-range, green, red, blue kind of deck, and Behold is just so good. But now we're kind of like, we have to make decisions of what direction we want to go in. So I think given all that, I still like Behold. Turgid's Shadow is good. I've had it a few times and been in a lot of situations where it doesn't really break the opponents too badly. There are like a good amount of token creatures kind of running around and smaller things, but this card is definitely real. Double black is pretty tough. I don't think we're taking it here when we have a really good red green rare we'd like to play. So I think I'm on Behold, but I could see an argument for Cavalry as well. Okay, we took Behold. Nice. So proud of my past self. Okay, Inga. This card is way better than I thought it was. I didn't think it was playable, and it's definitely playable. Scry 3 is a lot. Decks are a little bit on the slower side in this format, so you can sort of, being able to manipulate the top of your deck and draw, make sure you're drawing spells late in the game is really good. The draw 3 happens, which, on first read seemed like it would never. All that being said, I think I would still take Mistwalker out of this pack. This card's got a lot of synergy with all the Giants stuff, and it's just a good rate. 3 mana, 1/4 flyer, blocks a lot of things, and attacks them for a lot of damage late in the game. So I'd be on Mistwalker here. That is what we took. All right, so now this is where this Fall of the Imposter is already looking so bad. If this was Path to the World Tree, we would have an excellent start here. And we still have a pretty good start, but, we would be, feeling so good about being able to play Waking the Trolls. We've got a great removal spell. We've got some card advantage. We've got a great creature. So, take Path to the World Tree. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Yara Mirror Lake is a pretty good one. This is one of the better of these tap lands. They're all quite good. I think that might be the pick here. Breakneck Berserker is fine and everything, but it kind of looks like we want to play to the late game with a draw spell and Awakening the Trolls, so I think I'm on Yara Mirror Lake. Rest of the pack is not very exciting. That's what we took. Pick 7. Disdainful Stroke is a very playable blue card, and the rest of this pack is pretty bad, so I'd take Disdainful Stroke here. Okay, we took Hoggy Mob. This is not a card that we want to play actively. We will play it if we need creatures and, need 5 drops, but take the cheap cards early. And this can counter a lot of things. A lot of the Foretell cards actually cost 4 mana or more, even though people are playing them for 2 mana because of Foretell. So I really like Disdainful Stroke in this format. So I would have taken it there. Pick 8. Bunch of nothing here. Take another mob, I guess. We take 3 Seasons. We don't really have any snow support for it, though, so I don't love taking that, but, maybe we just grab it, see what happens kind of thing. But at this point in the pack, it doesn't look like snow is open, so if we're going to be multicolor, it's probably not going to be in a snow sort of way. So, I think all that being said, maybe we just take Skull Raid as a card we can splash. It's a little bit better than it looks. Pretty good in the late game. Okay, we took 3 Seasons, sure. I don't think that pick matters all that much. And the first wheel pick here, I probably at this point in the format would take Run Ashore. Again, if we had Path, Run Ashore would look even better, right? Because then we're more likely to get to 6 mana. And this card is pretty real. It's a big swingy effect, and again, the decks aren't that fast. And we're still really interested in playing Waking the Trolls and Demon Bolt and all that stuff. So I don't think I want to move over to white, but I have a feeling that's what we did. Okay, we took a dual land. I guess that's fine. A fine hedge as well, but I guess because we just picked up 3 Seasons, we were thinking we want snow permanents. But again, I think with the snow lands, you need to be taking them early. Or I guess you need to be in a spot where you're wheeling them, but your deck doesn't necessarily need them, and you're not taking them over other good cards. So actually, yeah, that being said, this is fine. Run Ashore is not a make or break pick. So yeah, maybe taking the duel there makes sense. If this was a green-blue duel, we'd be slamming it for sure. All right, rounding out this pack, we pick up Carful Harbinger. It's a fine card. Master Scald is okay with Waking the Trolls, sure. Recluse, whatever. Okay, here I definitely would have taken Run Ashore at this point. Starnheim Courser is not good enough, and we don't really have any reason to want to be white at this point, so I would take Run Ashore. Revitalize, Divine Game, sure. All right. Pack 2. We pick up a Glorious Protector. This card is pretty good. Again, we don't really have any great reasons to want to be white. We've got Fall of the Imposter. We've been cut out of green pretty heavily, though. So, and there's no good green cards in this pack. This is a tough pick. I could see Bergstrider being a good choice, given that we've got, Mistwalker, but we don't really have any snow. I guess I'm just thinking red-blue giants. But yeah, no, Glorious Protector's fine. You foretell it, you flash it in, eat a creature. Again, if we had Path to the World Tree, this, it'd be totally fine to just take this because we could splash it more easily. We do have a green-white duel, so yeah, this pick makes sense to me. Pick 2. Struggle for Skemfire looking pretty good. We can still hold on to the dream of playing Waking the Trolls and have a good fight spell here. Disdainful Stroke is fine. We could have picked one up last back and should have. Iron Verdict is probably still not better than Struggle for where we're at right now. And I don't think I'd be taking the Snowlands because we just don't have any synergy with them. Okay, so we took Struggle. That makes sense to me. Sweet. All right. Pack 2, pick 3. So we got another green-white duel. So we could snap that up and start thinking about playing some kind of Bant decks with, splashing Fall and Struggle or something like that. We don't have enough snow to make Icebind Pillar work, so I think at this point we're not going to take it. And I also like Ravenous Lindworm a good amount as just a big late game play that, catches you back up and then crushes your opponent. It's also real nice to copy that with Mirror Lake. So we're seeing the rippling effects of not taking that Path to the World Tree because it feels like we need to take the tree line here just to have good mana and, play our white rare that we picked up, maybe our Master Scald, maybe our Fall, and become this kind of Bant deck. But I think we would just take Lindworm had we taken that Path to the World Tree. Let's see what we took. Okay, we took Icebind Pillar. Again, we don't have a lot of snow, so I don't really like that pick, but see how the draft rounds out. Another Lindworm, I think, would have been the pick if we're kind of taking this route that I'm sort of taking in my head here. But given what we have, we kind of want this Volatile Fjord. It brings Waking the Trolls back into the conversation. It's good with Icebind Pillar. But Icebind Pillar was a really awkward pick because now we have no idea where we're going. So honestly, it's probably just Augury Raven, just to have a good creature and try to get more of a streamlined plan going. That's what we took. All right, another Demon Bolt we would really like to grab. There's really nothing else going on in this pack, and it's starting to look like we're a blue Foretell kind of deck. I don't know. This draft's a bit of a mess at the moment, but I think a Demon Bolt, hard to go wrong, except that we don't have great fixing for it, but that's what we grab. And the pack is quite weak, so not really anything else in contention. And we could pick up another Demon Bolt here and look to go back into a red-based deck. I think that's reasonable, and we do. And now, again, our mana is really, really not happening. So we want to be a 2-color deck if possible. Red-blue Giants is in the picture. I could see taking Crush the Weak. I don't think we should take Snow Island just for the Icebind Pillar, but that could be okay as well. We just don't really have any other reasons to want to be Snow. So I think the best thing we can do at this point is try to be a red-blue control deck, use Crush the Weak to beat aggro decks, use Demon Bolt to beat mid-range decks, and try to splash this Waking the Trolls and just get them. So a green or a red-blue splash green kind of deck is, I think, the best thing we could be doing at this point. We took Snow Island to support Pillar, which I again disagree with. Pick 8. So here we could just pick up a 5-mana 5/5 here, this green card, and just have a solid mid to late game in our teamer deck and hope we find some fixing. I guess that's the only problem with taking this here. But man, we got this Mirror Lake. I think that's the pick. I don't think it's Snow Island because the only thing we have is Pillar and. But now if we take the Snow Island, we've got 3 ways to activate Pillar, which might be good enough to to get people. So that's what we took. Yeah, I can see it. I can see it. All right, rounding out pack 2, pick up Carful Harbinger. So now we have 2 of these. So that's starting to make Foretell a little bit more attractive to us. We've got the Protector that wants it. We've got the Raven that wants it. We've got the Multiverse that wants it. We've got Mistwalker as a flyer. So we could start going in that direction. Pick up a Disdainful Stroke. Nice. Pick up a Lindworm on the wheel. Nice. Mammoth Growth, probably not going to make the deck. Divine, not going to make the deck. Another Harbinger is super late. So, that kind of, again, is pushing us towards playing Foretell. Problem is that we just don't have a lot of great Foretell stuff, and we're going to be playing stuff like Starnheim Courser if we're playing, blue-white Foretell, which is not excellent, but yeah, that's what we're ending up with. Okay, and this green-white uncommon land we're not going to be able to play. Okay, pick pack 3, pick 1. So again, the draft pool looking like a bit of a mess. This Toss card has been pretty good when it's been played against me. It's pretty good with flyers too. So again, I think some kind of base green multicolor deck playing Augury Raven and Mistwalker would be pretty nice with this card. I could see just taking another Augury Raven if we're worried that we're not going to make playables and our deck is a little bit too messy. We've got ways to accelerate it out with our Harbingers. It's a solid stat line. But I think in this format I'd be looking to do something a little bit bigger than Raven at this point, which would probably be Toski. We took Raven, so I think that's more of a safe pick, and I can respect it. But okay, here we just badly need to take the Shimmer Driftveil. Our mana is really bad. We still don't even know what 2 colors we're in. So that should be a slam. Whoops. Should be a slam dunk pick, and it is. Okay, sweet. Pick 3. Not much going on here. I guess we take Shepherd of the Cosmos if we're thinking we're moving into white. This whole draft I've been saying I don't want to move into white, but I think we've kind of just put ourselves in that spot again by not taking that Path to the World Tree early and sort of building around a multicolored green deck. So, Shepherd is a good card. Foretell is very powerful. 3/3 flyer is good. We just don't have a lot of great early drops to bring back. Like getting back a Carful Harbinger is not very exciting, but I can see it. I can see taking it. Okay, we took Struggle for Skemfar. That's surprising, but I don't mind that either. Maybe we're thinking we're green-blue, splashing white. We do have a good amount of snow lands at this point, which makes 3 seasons playable, and the Icy Manipulator, Icebind Pillar, playable. So yeah, I actually do kind of like that pick. Okay, sweet. Pick 4. We see a Morit of the Frost. This card is really, really nice, and I'd be pretty interested in picking it up here. Copying a Raven is pretty dope. A 5/5 flyer or whatever, it's not bad. Or copying a Mistwalker as a 3/6 that can pump. So, I mean, we've already got the Mirror Lake. We've got a little bit of fixing. I would take the Morit here and try to be green-blue. That's what we did. Nice. Oh boy. All right. Pack 3, pick 5. We see a Vega. This is a card I was very high on early and a little less so now. It dies pretty easily. But if you go off with this and you draw a bunch of cards off your Foretell stuff, it is really nice. There's not much else going on in this pack. I could see an argument for taking Bergstrider at this point because we've got a good amount of snow lands, like not a great amount, but we've got 3 or maybe 4 that we're going to play. So some of the time this is going to lock something down. We've got a couple good green-blue uncommons. So I still think we want to be green-blue, even though we're getting past this Vega. We could take it and splash it, but I think Vega's at its best when you're kind of just curving out with foretold flyers and stuff like that. So we're in a bit of a tough spot here. you know, taking a 5-drop Bergstrider is a bit of a tough proposition too because our early game isn't great. But we could also just take Depart the Realm as a piece of interaction because we don't have any of that yet, except for Struggle for Scam Forest. So this is a close pick. We took Vega. I just think the problem with taking Vega is it makes you want to drop a lot of green, and we have some good green stuff going on here with these struggles. This Lindworm, this Morit, the Mirror Lake, but you can't really do a Bant thing, I don't think, and make Vega the best it can be. So here we could take Snakeskin Veil as a combat trick, but we're a little bit low on creatures, and I think we just need good, solid, reliable interaction. So I think I would just take Bind the Monster here just to make sure that we can deal with the opposing creatures, and feels like we're thinking about switching to white-blue here, so we take Bind, that makes sense. Okay, pick 7, we see another Bind. I think we need creatures badly enough here that if we're going to try to do the Vega thing, we need to take God's Hall Guardian. If we're going to try and do the green thing, which I still think is really, really good, we should just take Rootless Yew. We can pick up a Lindworm with it. It's a solid stat line. I still think our green looks better than our white. So I would take Rootless Yew here, I think. We took God's Hall Guardian, so I was thinking we've got triple Harbinger, which lets us cheat on mana and get this out early. We've got Vega that wants it. So that's all fine. I still think, in retrospect, that green was better, but that pick makes sense. At least it's not a completely, like, why did we do this? Ooh, and then here we get the chance to take a Glittering Frost. This could save the draft here. This could let us play green-blue and splash all these Demon Bolts, maybe Waking the Trolls. It could let us play green-blue and splash some of these white cards, which are all pretty bad, so I don't know why we would want to do this. But I think we're supposed to take Glittering Frost here and be green-blue splash. We took Doomscar Oracle. Oh, I don't like that pick, but I think we were blinders on Vega, and that is a good combo for sure. And I mean, Doomscar Oracle is a good card. This is one of the good reasons to be in white Foretell, but I think Glittering Frost was the pick we should have taken. And rounding out the draft here, see, green, it's hard to read the signals, but I think green was a great avenue for us here, and picking up a 5/5 is totally good. This pack has nothing in it. Actually, this pack has Liara Kinseekers in it, which has been better than I thought it would be, and I think should have been the pick here of a Giant Ox. Ox has not been very good. It seems like a pretty decent way to sort of shore up your defenses early, but the Boast creatures can just attack into it, no problem. If you have the Plow, that's a bit of a different story, but we don't. But looking at our 2-drops, we need them pretty badly. Again, if we take Path to the World Tree, we wouldn't feel the need to take 2-drops here. Also, we've got Double Raven, Behold, Struggle. We have a lot of things to do on turn 2, even though they're not creatures. So keep that in mind as well. Again, this was early in the format, so I was thinking we need 2-drop creatures. We got to get on board early, which is generally a good idea. But in this format, if you've got good Foretell cards to foretell on turn 2, and they're 4-drops or whatever, that can kind of shore up your curve at 2. So I would take Kinseekers here for what it's worth. Pick up a Late Shepherd. That's nice because we're blinders on Vega. And wow, pick 12 Behold. Sure, we'll take that. No problem. Still a Replicating Ring in the pack too for the multicolor deck. And pretty easy to part the realm. So we actually got hooked up in the last couple picks there. 4th Harbinger. And the final deck looked like this. This is pretty sketchy. I don't know if splashing triple Demon Bolt was where we should have been. I still think we should have been a base green, blue, probably green, blue, red. Even right to the end, we probably could have still built that deck, especially if we'd picked up the Path to the World Tree, I'll say it again, and the Glittering Frost. I think we would have had a better deck. This deck did go 2-1. Vega is a house. But I don't like 3 mountains and a Shimmerdrift Veil to splash Demon Bolts. That being said, I mean, you can foretell these early and just let them sit there, and then eventually find your mountain. So they're not going to hamstring you too hard, but there will be hands when you draw 2 of these and never see a mountain, And it's like you mulled to 5 or whatever. It's like, sure, you foretold them, but until you cast them, you're not getting value from Vega. So sure, that's where that one loss came from. And I would have ended up green, blue, red probably if I was doing this draft now. So that's the draft review. If you would like me to review one of your draft logs, post a link to it in the comments here, or post it in my Discord channel, which is linked below, or come say hi to me on Twitch. Give a follow if you want, twitch.tv/alromusic. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one.